This feels a little bit better. Hey all y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing my second and last video on the whole Jaclyn Hill cosmetics kind of thing. This is going to be a very short, a very just kind of concise few points that I wanted to make. It isn't going to be a dragging or a bashing. We're not gonna be heavily roasting this time. I just wanted to talk about some things that kind of I see in her behavior and in sort of the reason why I think that this is really a problem, aside from the fact that the, FDA is getting involved. That is never a good thing. So, like I said, I'm not going to try to make this too long. I've just got some little things that I wanted to say and bring to the attention and give just a few of my thoughts. Okay, so kind of the first thing that I feel like when it comes to like reacting to this whole situation and how she's responding to it and everything like that, I just kind of have this feeling of why are we surprised? Because if you look in kind of the Jaclyn makeup history when it comes to releasing products that, aren't necessarily her own, but products that have her name on them, such as collaborations with Becca and Morphe. If we think back to the, Becca, the original Champagne Pop and all that thing, yeah, I understand contracts and everything like that, and I don't know, what goes in on a contract, and I'm not saying she is all responsible, but when you're doing this thing where it's like, oh look, it's fancy, it's limited edition, oh look, this is fancy, it's limited edition, and then you go right back and then you release it permanently to the chagrin of all of those who purchased it non-limited edition. And I understand why companies do this. We all know why companies do this. It is no surprise. Companies tag things with limited edition and they make them all super hyped up and they say it's limited edition so that they can sell more product. It's not a secret. It's not a new technique. It's something that has been done for, I don't know, as long as I've been buying makeup. But when you start off with something like that, it's just kind of like, well, okay, we weren't really very truthful and honest in that. And then, we go into the, the big old Jaclyn Morphe palette, which wasn't an issue of quality control, but, we kind of lied about the limited availability of that thing. And then you do have her then Jaclyn Hill Vault collection, which was very much an issue of quality, and when that came about, it was kind of this like, oh, well, she kind of never told the truth on that. When the cake was released, it's all kind of like, oh no, my shades are totally different. And the shades were exactly the same. Then people were like, well, what's up with the formula? You said this is going to be the same formula as the big palette. Well, they're pressed differently, and the ingredient list is wrong. There seemed to be an inability to accept responsibility for any decision made. And while I understand that when it comes to a collaboration product, there's only so many, decisions you as the influencer can make other than putting your name on it, which in and of itself should be a very big decision. Because whether you're involved in all the whatever going on about it, you at least see the end product and you put your name on it and say, this is okay to show to my fans. And so I feel like her behavior and kind of the way her response to how this whole collection release, cosmetics, whatever went is kind of like a, well, we've seen it before. Did we really expect her to act any differently? When it comes to her response reaction, it's a little frustrating. I am a 29-year-old. I think she and I are real close in age. And I feel like with age, though I am very young yet, with, age comes experience, comes maturity and all sort of things like that. And when I was younger, I mean, we'll say, you know, probably 16 to like 23, I was really unstable. And if there was one thing that I didn't do, was take responsibility for my actions, particularly my crappy actions. And so being someone who's kind of on the same age spectrum, I'm like, don't we just have a certain level of programmed responsibility and maturity in the brain as it grows and develops? Because what I am seeing here is it's everyone else's fault. You know, oh, the lab, you know, the crappy lab is all to blame. And I'm like, honey, you had 5 years. Sure, it should be, you know, the lab should not be taken off of the hook for being such a crappy lab. But you had 5 years to get your act together to use a lab that wasn't crappy. You know, yeah, it's on them for, you know, the quality of the product that they're putting out, but it's on you for continuing to use them. And I find it hard to believe. I'm so over this saturating going in and out. I find it hard to believe that you knew nothing. You're just sweet, doe-eyed Jaclyn, can do no wrong, Morphe babe, Jaclyn. Oh, I didn't know. I had no idea. I'm the victim. I just have a hard time believing that there was absolutely no knowledge of anything. And for someone who has been in the industry for as long as she is, you know, she may not be a chemist, she may not be a makeup creator, but she has been a makeup consumer for years. I know being makeup consumer is, you know, it's all like whatever, but you do get to a point where you're smart enough. You have the regular, you know, natural intelligence to figure some things out and to be completely blameless and completely in the dark. I feel like you gotta be really, really dumb, really ignorant to be able to say like, I had no idea. And I'm like, there had to have been something. And then like not being able to be like whole truthful in and all of that, and then to be able to still trying to deflect. That's what I'm seeing here. A lot of deflection. Oh, what are the hairs? Oh, well, they're wearing fuzzy gloves. What's because of this? Well, they've been left out in the heat, you know. What's the batch number? What? Is there anything consistent about this? No. And I guess my big problem with this, like I said, aside from this becoming a big, ginormous health risk, and if any of y'all bought them, take them back, do what it's, even if yours haven't had issues, it's not worth the risk. Take them back, send them back, do something with them. Melt them down for a science experience. I don't know, but keep them away from this. So that's an absolutely awful, horrible, terrible thing that, you know, cosmetics would be put out in such a shoddily way that they are literally causing injury now. I laughed at I was watching some kind of drama video, and someone had a comment that was all like, it is the year 2035 and you hear a commercial on the screen. Did you purchase a Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics lipstick in 2019? You may be eligible for financial compensation. I thought that was pretty funny, but it's not funny because that is seriously like I said, I feel like we sometimes forget the whole hygienic thing and the fact that cosmetics they're going on the most careful, whatever sensitive part of your body. So a lot of care needs to be taken in to what we put on that part. And what really bothers me is the utter and complete lack of responsibility. Would this have been so bad if in the beginning, and I understand they are legal, I'm sure she's got a lawyer, whatever, on retainer, and he's telling her, or she's telling her, the lawyer is telling her what to say, what not to say, when to say it, because you know, legal ramifications are a thing. But would this have been so bad if on the initial push, you know, on the initial discovery, if she had come out and said, holy crap, this looks like a problem. This is not a, what's the word? Coincidence. We are seeing multiple happenings of this. You know, it's not just one or two people. It's a wide amount of, consumers. I don't like the way this is turning out. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna pull it back. We're gonna do some testing, some research. I'm sorry, refund. Let's see what the problem is. Would it have been as much of a problem? I don't think so, because in that of itself, that is accepting responsibility that something is wrong on your end. It's not the consumer having dry lips. It's not the post office leaving the lipsticks out in the heat. You know, it's not all these things that the blame was being put on. And so if we had come out and initially came out saying, look guys, I see this is a problem, instead of completely deflecting and totally ignoring the problem. And then that leads into my real beefy issue with this. Like I said, besides the hygiene and the everything else that's going on, that is big. But personally, it literally is the unwillingness to accept or take any responsibility for something that you're like, it's my company, it's my lipstick, it's my cosmetics, I am involved in the formulation, I want it to be perfect. And then when everything hits the fan, oh, it's their fault. It would show her fans who have helped her get to this point, her subscribers who have supported her for how many years, helped her be able to afford luxury house, luxury purses, jewelry, lifestyle, to say to them, I'm sorry for what happened. I am sorry that because I didn't do enough research, because I didn't do enough to invest in a lab that would create good, this happened. That's on me. It would do so much for her character as well as the future of the company itself. To be able to say, I see this problem, I acknowledge this problem, and I am going to fix it. And to do that in the beginning, rather than waiting until it has become this huge thing, until people are hurt, until there are casualties, for lack of a better word, until there is a huge repercussion for basically being unwilling to admit responsibility, to admit fault, to admit wrong, and to say, I messed up. All Jaclyn wants to do, in my opinion, allegedly, is just living this, you know, bright-eyed, doe-eyed, darling, can do no wrong, I'm innocent, I'm relatable, this image of, you know, I'm your pal, I'm your friend, when that's not the reality. She exists currently to shill. And I think that this, just her reaction to everything, her reaction to the start of it, her reaction now at the end of it, and just, like I keep saying, like I keep harping on, that inability, that unwilling, because I'm sure she thinks she didn't do anything wrong. She's like, I'm innocent, I'm all whatever, but to not be able to just say, I mean, you are acting like a 16-year-old. I mean, you do not have enough of an adult bone in your body that you can't say, hey, it was me, you know. She's not the chemist, she's not the whatever, but she is her company, and that's what she's been saying. This is my company, my cosmetics. I'm like, well, if it's your company and your cosmetics, it's your problem and it's your fault. That is honestly what gets to me. I love how I said this is going to be a short video and it's already at like 22 minutes long. But I think the thing that just bugs me so much is this level of accepted immaturity and this level of free passes and this level of oh, well, whatever, blaseness, not just to her, but to honestly a lot of really big influencers. You know, there'll be scandals and there'll be whatevers, but, you know, from those people who, you know, it really would matter on their opinion, you know, it's just, oh, give them a smack on the hand and let them go. Let them keep shilling product. And I just wish that she could have had enough care for her subscribers and for her consumers and for everything like that to simply have taken this the route that it should have been from the beginning and to have been 100% honest and real and true. And if it had taken an extra 2 years, 3, another 5, better that it take that than for it to have come to this where people have gotten hurt, people are really, you know, affected and things like that. For it to reach this point would be better to have just started out on the right foot. That's honestly all I really wanted to say. I didn't intend or want this to like end up being like a, oh, bashing, whatever, because I've never cared for Jaclyn Hill. In the OG days of YouTube, she was not my thing. But, you know, even all of that aside, even if this had been, you know, an influencer, I love it. And there will still be people who love her and support her. That's just the nature of the beast. It's the same thing with her, with Manny, with Laura, Jeffrey, Kat Von D, James Charles, you know, all of those, you know, for those of us who have certain differing opinions on them, there'll always be those who are there who still support them, and that's, you know, that's fine. But I just wanted to put kind of my thoughts, my 2 cents, my takeaway, I guess, from this. And I really do hope that it gets taken care of and the issue with this whole recall thing now that's happening actually does, you know, because it's awful. It really is. It's absolutely awful. It's irresponsible. It's dangerous. It's just, I don't know how they thought this was a good thing, or how, you know, the quality and the reaction to these lipsticks could have gone so far under the radar. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, leave a comment down below that said made it, and let me know your opinions on all of this. I know I do have y'all just got a video. I will leave that link down below, and I'm working hard to reply to y'all's comments on that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!